the beginning of busing for African American children in that particular locale. And this beginning had a disturbing appearance. The buses that were provided were, in some instances, a built-up pickup truck with a with facilities for seating in the rear. But within a very short period of time, because of the concern for trying to achieve equality since the courts had moved into this field, the buses that the school system were replacing with new buses for the majority children, these buses were being made available to African-American entrepreneurs who would purchase them and with a contractual arrangement with the county would transport African-American children to our school. This change, though, was greatly accelerated during this period leading up to '54. At a rather rapid pace, new facilities were constructed to move children out of churches into school buildings.
It's almost as if they felt something in the wind.
Well, this was indeed the fact that if we're going to stop the onslaught of court attacks, we must indeed establish the fact that separateness can be made equal, but there was a problem with defining equality. In time, the children were transported in publicly owned vehicles. Some of the bus routes were inordinately long. I think the longest bus route serving children in our school was about 30 miles one way. And this was a daily...
30 miles each 5 days a week?
Yes,
doing the
30 miles, 30 miles one way, daily. This was not the nature of the provisions for children of the other racial group, not by a long stretch. There were some other problems during that period, another characteristics of that period. The in-service programs.
The graduate education and then...
Well, graduate education as well as the locally delivered, provided in-service programs for teachers were maintained on a separate basis. This meant that the black teachers attended workshops and institutes designed for them and totally separate from and without any communication with the non-black teachers in the system. This really inhibited some of the growth that could result from a broad professional exchange among professionals. The administration of public education in that period was typically characterized by a small cadre of personnel at the central office serving the needs of the African American teachers, while a full staff serviced the needs of rendered services to the non-black teachers. One could not say that you had equality in service preparation or service for the teachers. With respect to graduate education at that time, the state of Alabama and the state of Tennessee and a number of other states throughout the southeastern region paid tuition and expenses for African American teachers to attend universities outside the southern area.
Dr. Fancher, let's
Yes.
elaborate upon that, because that's a very, very difficult situation to really understand.
Yes.
But now we hear about it every now and then, but from your own personal experiences, talk about that for a minute or two.
Well, I'll give you an example. When I moved to Marion, Alabama to work at this high school, I had a master's degree at the time. So I had the desire to pursue a doctorate. But I was not permitted to enroll at the University of Alabama. But the state of Alabama instead paid my tuition and living expenses to study during summers and other times that I elected at the University of Wisconsin. This was the use of public funds. This was in lieu of providing for such educational services in the home state. Now, the courts had a reaction to this, as you perhaps know. Earlier, the courts had ruled that the state cannot, a given state cannot guarantee equality in another state.
Mm-hmm.
So if certain professional and graduate services are provided by the state in that state, then such services can only be guaranteed to other citizens who attended those programs in that particular state. The state of Alabama could not guarantee, for example, that the professional training that I would receive at the University of Wisconsin would be equal to. So the test of separate but equal was not being met by that program of giving scholarships and paying stipends for persons to attend graduate study.
What about salaries and the